Welcome everyone to StarCrawler. I put this on my channel earlier, but since the game is about to come out on launch, I decided to come back and see what has changed, see what things are what are going on, how the classes have been shaping out, how combat has been shaping out. And so far, I'm liking all the changes and improvements in the fleshed out game, so it's a lot of fun. So let's get right into it. Yes, I have tested out some of the mechanics. So I will go through each of the classes with a small debriefing of them. So you got the Cyber Ninja. Their main thing is the classic World of Warcraft rogue stealth combo points and ambushes type deal. The Engineer is a pet class where you have two resources systems. You have, I think, scrap metal, which you use to build stuff. Let me even see if that's even still a thing. No, okay. Never mind. I forget I said that. They are gigawatts. So they start with, use gigawatts to either build robots and then to empower their abilities. So you have a pet tree right here. You have a semi-pet tree here. And then you have just a power suit. So they're in giant power suits, as you can see, these mechanical suits. So you're using your suit more as a combat system. The Force Psychers are a type of mage where they have force energy. They have a grand total at the start of the battle. And as you use abilities, it will deplete your energy. And as you get out of combat, your energy will slowly regen. Your Hacker is probably a really fun class. It is a virus dot class, so you're going to have a lot of different dots you can put on the targets. Depending on the way you build it, it's going to have either crowd control dots, like here you have abilities to stun the target, interrupt, daze the target. Oh no, this is damage done to interrupt and dazed. Charm, stun, you know, a lot of stuff. Then you have stuff that buffs your allies, so this increases the resistance, this increases their haste, increases damage and healing and that stuff. And then you got your pure damage class. Your Smuggler is another one of the more unique classes in the game. It has a lot of pros and cons type deal. So, like over here, the dirty moves, a lot of the abilities might work. They might not. So, like here, you put the volatile trap down, and it has a 20% chance of exploding when your target does something. And of course, the chances increase, so after 5 turns of you getting bad luck, it's just going to guarantee to explode. And some of these abilities are like that. You have a chance to taunt your enemies away from you, or you have chances of taunting the target, the enemies to you with push your luck. And then you have abilities that rely around credits. So you spend credits to do super amounts of damage. And they are high risk, high rewards type abilities where, like this, I have a chance of doing normal damage, really high damage, super high damage, or I just do damage to myself. The Soldier, your typical fighting class, you got your AoE trees right here, so everything around here is pretty much more about AoEs, and here is your tanks, and here is your just flat out high damage abilities. The Void Psyker is one of those other interesting classes where they build void energy, but at the cost that every time you reach a certain threshold, you have a chance of overloading, which is you're going to release all the void energy and hit everyone around you. Friendly, the Void Psyker, and all enemies for a high amount of damage. And you got your kind of your support slash your support tree right here. You got your high damage tree, and then you got your pet tree. Now, unlike I don't know if these pets can be controlled, I've never gotten this far down. I know just the void. I've only seen the void horror, and the void horror you just put a debuff on the enemy, and when you do damage to the target, the void horror does bonus damage and jumps to another enemy. I'm gonna go with our smuggler. Gonna go with Davana. Really good friend in real life, so, well, not real life, but a gaming friend, and that's her avatar's name, so, you know, I'm just gonna go with it. So, let us begin our backstory. This is something new to the game, and is unique to just the first character you create. I like the fringe rat here. And this really doesn't have any effect on your future things, because you will still get these three. But I like fringe rat, so you'll get the fringe culture. Anyone on the fringe, you'll be able to talk their lingo, which is really important, because right here where we're at is on the fringe. If you go with a former etiquette, you're going to talk like a highly educated person, and the fringe people throughout the game is going to be like, what? You've got some fancy learning there, boy. So now you pick things that will actually have more of an effect on your next things. I like the gym specialist. So I am working with the Titanic excavation company. So that gives me the 5 to accuracy and 3 to damage. I know this one is pretty nice if you want crit and damage, but my view is you can't kill it if you can't hit it. And then you get this stuff where I can start off with 100 credits. I can start off with a wear weapon and accessory. I like this one a lot. And I piss off Titana. And I lost it all, and I lose rep, and I just gain a rare accessory. I kinda like to be in the backstab Han Solo type person. So here's my loadouts. Yes, accept and begin. I'm gonna go AP, and the gunslinger is kind of your Han Solo type deal. So let's go Han Solo. Alright, here you go. You got a special fringe culture thing. Everyone will have this depending on what they picked. Like I said, if you pick the well-educated person, you did this, the guy's like, okay, you're pretty smart, but that won't help you out here. He actually will look down upon you. While here, if I take this, I get a free beer. So this just explains, this is a little bit of a backstory in that he's going to now put us through the ringer. He's going to test us. So we get 10 credits, we get 40 experience for doing this. Tutorial mission, real easy, no risk of failing. Well, I shouldn't say that. You can't fail, you can just end up doing this. Let's exit. Oh, actually I can't. Okay, never mind. So right here is a shiny. This introduces the black market. Black market is a nice little feature that was added in between my last gameplay and this one. And we'll go here with the stash. And it says find the obvious switch. So you are going to be on an X and Y plane at all times on your movement. But if you notice that I'm not, my camera is being manipulated on a very 3D plane. That is because if you hold your mouse button down, you can center your camera wherever. And if you hit forward, your camera will automatically, your character will automatically try to move in the most X and Y, X and Y movement it can. If it's impossible, like you're trying to do a diagonal move, it just won't do anything. So this is just a little backstory, or just a little flavor text. Nothing happens. no matter what you choose, the urchin runs away. So we're just going to ignore him. So this lets you know that there are going to be traps in the game. Some traps you can interact by getting close and clicking on them. I'll show that off in another mission. And traps, other traps will require you to go and find a switch to deactivate. So this also teaches you about character level upping. Oh boy. So now I'm going to shoot the door stylously because I'm a smuggler. That's what we do. And here, we're going to talk with this. Depending on what classes you have, you'll either end up playing a little mini game, or you'll just be able to just flat out do that. Who knows, the mini game might be inactive anymore. I haven't seen the mini game on any characters I've played, so I don't know. They could have just removed it, which I don't blame them. The minigame really wasn't that fun. It was basically just a a crappier version of this style of combat. Because you got like three you got three units. You got your CC unit, you got your offensive unit, and then you had a healing unit. But I've only tried this on a few classes. Alright, Foxkin. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Keep an eye on the floor, because there will be credit sticks usually lying around the mission. So the hacking minigame, you'll have Thor, he's going to be your little damage AI. You have Freya, who's going to be your healing AI, which I don't agree whatsoever. Freya was an actual warrior. She was probably just as much of a warrior as Thor, maybe even more, because she was the battle princess, I think that was her title. I know she was the queen of the Valkyries, but she had other titles. And we're gonna return. I don't know why the default is no. It's so annoying. So you gotta be careful with that. Then you had Loki, the trickster, as your little viruses you stick in. So what is this? Dodge and maneuver. Ooh, that's pretty interesting. I'll probably put that on, like my, what's it called? So I killed this Sensi in one hit, but if you don't, he's going to end up, like, scrubbing you, and the longer you take to kill him, the more shinier and more polished your armor is, and that's why he says this. Your armor looks different, it's sparkling. So this tells you about the different, about the station and people here. So this is the engineer. I'm going to head to her next. This talks about the medic, and this talks about, oh, one of them was the medic, one was the engineer, and one was the black market. So we'll stop at the black market first because that's going to have the most interactions. So the black market, you're going to buy stuff, and it's going to have a random value, so you can buy epic or rare armor. You can buy rare or epic shields, and rare and epic weapons. What the thing is that each of these has a bunch of classes to it. So let's say as a smuggler, I want light armor. Well, I could buy this, but I might get heavy armor, or I might get tactical armor, or I might get one of the other types of armors. There's like 4 or 5 different types of armors in the game. Same with shields. Weapons, there is a ton of weapon classes. So it's all random. You just buy it and hope you get something useful. Now if you go to the auction, we're going to sit here and auction. Now if you notice, it says there were no offers made. What this means is that when you get something with more stars, you'll get offers. And the offers will offer more credits than your default 20. It will also have different effects, like they will either offer you a lot more credits, so some of them can be like, here's 200 credits for this one thing, and while another person is like, here's 1,000 credits. They also offer things like weapons and gear, so you can get rare or epic weapons and armor and that stuff from the auction house. You can get a ton of rep. You can get a lot of things from it, and we'll show that off more in detail. So we'll talk with her, see what she's got. That's a lot of money. So this is one reason why you kind of wanted money. So you got a pair of melee weapons, you got your heavy pistol. I think this is just a common pistol. So your heavy pistols, as you can see, are going to have a high amount of accuracy. And they're going to be kind of fast. Your rifles are more for tanking. As you will see, they have a lower accuracy. And they have special effects. Here's your heavy armor. Here's some tactical armor. Here's a heavy shield. Here's a tactical shield. So yeah, everything is going to have different effects based on what you put on. So light armor is going to give you a higher chance of dodge and a higher chance of or higher damage. So you're free to move, but it's not going to protect you very well. If you get KO'd in a mission, the mission counts you as critically wounded, and you need to come here to the doctor and revive your characters. Upon being revived, you're going to have a status effect, meaning, you know, you'll probably have like a missing organ or something like a kidney. It was shot up. And without that kidney, you're going to take bonus damage for each attack, and you want to cure that. You can also reset your abilities, and let's see what he has for drugs. Alright, so nothing here interesting to me. I mean, there is some of these interesting things, but I'm not wanting to spend money on that. So we'll check the job board. We're getting a distress signal. You know, we're still a nobody, but we're going to accept it. So we're kind of penniless, we're kind of nobodies, we're trying just to get work. So she doesn't want us to botch the operation and piss off all the future contractors and blacklisting us. So I'm going to say, nope, I'm good, I know what to do. If you don't know about Chimera, Chimera is a drug company that is pushing the limits of cybernetics. But they're doing it through human guinea pig research, so people kind of frown upon it, but let's talk with them. Okay, so since I have a smuggler in my party, I will get this special option. Depending on where you're at and what you're doing and who's in your party, you'll get special options here. These options are usually a higher increase in succeeding a certain check, but not a guarantee. So they want to pay me 100 credits for returning the supplies. As a smuggler, I will ask for more money, and I have a higher chance of getting more money. And I passed, so I'm now getting 150. Without a smuggler, you can still pass, but it has a very high chance of failing. And with a smuggler, you still have a chance of failing. So this shows off some real combat. Now you notice there was a blue form when I critted with my second shot. Nice. What the blue form means is that that's what the enemy shields took. So how shields work is that they are a point system. So the shields will absorb it. The first 3 points of damage, everything else is going to bleed through them for the first 3 attacks this character receives. After X amount of turns, you'll gain a shield charge back. And then your armor, of course, will just absorb X amount of damage type. Now, come over here, and there is actually a lot of different damage. So, if you notice, my shield is only absorbing physical damage. So, if the enemy hits me with 10 points of fire damage, I'm going to eat all 10 points of fire damage. And shields absorbs all damage that isn't going to pierce through the shield. And what I mean by that is there is some attacks that are specifically designed around piercing shields. So when you get hit with those, and they'll just ignore your shields. And then there are attacks that are empowered by shields or designed to eat through shields. So those type of attacks are actually stronger when getting hit, when they're hitting a target with a shield. This is just a little message of a smuggler deciding, a guy on the ship deciding to do some smuggling behind the captain's back. So I want to show this off. Movement is turn-based. And what that means is that you're going to move forward, and everything is going to act like a percentage has happened. So, let's say the Void Psyker. The Void Psyker builds up psychic void energy, but every time you move outside of combat like this, they will lose void energy. And the same with the other one, the one that starts off with maximum energy and then it depletes it as you do combat. So if you want to regenerate their energy levels or lower the energy levels depending on which one you're playing with, you'll just run back and forth because it is a time unit of moving. I can show that off real easy here in a second. So here is the, grab that. Here is the code he was talking about, where it's red, yellow, red, yellow. So it's 1, 4, 8. Don't forget the 2 in the back that'll kind of hidden by the shadows. I mean, I can even hit the flashlight and you can see them all. So you got the 7 standing and the 1 there and 3. So 1, 4, 8, 3. Upon coming down here, we're gonna move around, grab each of these credit sticks. Not all credit sticks will spawn. I mean, usually they're going to be credit sticks in the same spots for this mission, but you saw how I was going back and forth in that one room. That's because there was a credit stick missing. Sorry, random coughing fit. So we're going to investigate each of the lockers. See, this locker had nothing. This locker had nothing. This is the smuggler's locker. So as you can see, there is a magnetic lock. We'll take a look at the magnetic lock. We'll put in the code 483. We'll enter the code, and we'll take the chems. Now, what did we get? We get some Zerk and Zerk. All right. Oh, and spice. Okay. Now we look at the last locker, there's going to be a candy bar. Now you're thinking like, well, that doesn't do much. But if you grab it, you'll find out there's 20 credits underneath the candy bar. Now I come here, call Luna. She's going to tell me to go to the cockpit. Here's this medical supplies. I am a scumbag and I'm just going to deliver it to Chimera. Turns out the supplies were paid for and Chimera lied to me, but at the same time, the colony is infected with the pox. I'm not sure what that is, but it sounds like a real deadly disease. So the robot has been aggroed, but as you can see, it's not moving. This is what I'm talking about by movement being turn-based. So now I move forward and the robot moves forward. You might notice that combat, XP you get from combat is way lower than you would normally get from just completing the mission. But you also have to remember there might be like 10 battles, so after 10 battles you'll get 50 XP. This basically gives us a little story about this ship and why the crew is empty. So what happens is they were scavenging, they found a derelict ship, you know, kind of something common in sci-fi themes, and they investigated the derelict ship. They found a cargo chest that they brought aboard, and I guess they weren't scavenging, they were delivering stuff, but on their way they found the derelict ship. And because it was a derelict ship, they went on and explored, seeing if there was any good loot to scavenge and stuff. Found the chest that we're about to go and observe ourselves. Just making sure there is no more credits or things to loot. They brought it on, and now they've all disappeared. So this is us talking about this chest. It might be dangerous. Alright, so I did this mission earlier, and the credit sticks in this room were in different spots. They were both like right here and right here. So that also is something. They do move around. We'll open the crate. I'm not going to draw and fire our lid on the crate. Take that. Yeah, trouble, I barely broke a sweat. So it turns out that this robot has been kind of killing crews of derelict ships, and was kind of hoping that I didn't open it up and would take it into my ship, and it would then activate, come out and kill us while we were sleeping or something. I don't know how it kills, or what happened to all the bodies. Kind of wish there was the delay was gone. So we're going to talk to her, and she's going to tell us that this is an AI, and that they are extremely dangerous, but can be very useful. Just a little bit of flavor text for you guys to read. Now this is the big thing. I can either sell the robot for scrap, or I can turn it into a, what's it called? A crawler for me to use. I'm not a big fan of the robot. I mean, it's a pretty strong unit, but it's just kind of a high risk, high reward, and I really have a high risk, high reward type person. What it is that every time you do every time it has a turn, it has a chance of malfunctioning. And when it does, it gets random effects on itself. And the random effects can be really good or really bad. And after 5 malfunction, it shuts down and you can't use it. There's also chances of it doing friendly fire and all sorts of other things. It's just better not to use it. But if you want to play with it, it is a very strong high risk, high reward type person. So yeah, I'm going to rip it out. I'll get the core and I will get 500 credits. Which is really nice because now I'll actually level up my character later. So this is a little story about another ship that has kind of disappeared and is now found, but all the crew is missing and they want to know what happened. And because this is a big colony ship, colony ships disappearing, coming back, all Space Hulk-like from 40k. You know, I'm a Warhammer fan. It's gone missing, comes back, and now we're going to be Space Marines inside these Space Hulk type deal. And Aurora, since we're like gnome ones, we don't have a reputation quite yet, but we have piqued everyone's attention because we're this new wild card. They want to give us a chance of being the first ones in and out. And it sounds like Aurora might be, you know, doing something a little fishy. Now I can hire crawlers, and I want to start hiring. Let's see. I'll name a few of my online friends. I'm gonna hire Spooky. I'm gonna fire Kitty. And I'm gonna hire Commander Shepard. Am I even spelling that right? I think that I am. This is going to be embarrassing if I misspelled Shepard, but I haven't played Mass Effect in ages. So now the thing has opened up for us. We can jump into this, but it's going to be challenging because it's suggested for level 3. But also at the same time, you got to remember, you're not normally going to have a full party to do this. So I think we might as well jump into this. Oh! Hell yeah. These guys already hate me. Why not? So this is a bounty hunting mission. This means there's going to be a boss somewhere in there, and my job is just to kill the boss. Once I kill the boss, I can leave or I can stay and loot. Alright, so let's spend our AP. I'm going to go with shoot first. Little Han Solo thing. This ability used to be overpowered because it procced a lot. It procced very often. Now they just set it out to, what it was when you put more points into it, and it had increased its chance of proccing, so it would get up to like a 90% chance of proccing every time the enemy would do an action. So they lowered that because, you know, the smuggler was just ripping people a new asshole. So I'm going to end up going 1 point here and 1 point here because the shareware is what I'm really after for this tree. And then I'm probably going to go further down this tree because I like the CC and crowd control effects. For Kitty, we're going to go with Drain. shepherd. 3 points and a meat shield. And we're gonna go with defiant. And this, because it's a nice little AoE ability. And furthermore, I am going to switch over to C. I'm gonna go with this. I'm not a big fan of the SMGs. And right here is something. Oh, we got an actual light shield. Perfect. So since my character doesn't have any shields or any armor, anything's going to be an upgrade for her. Let us see. The reason I'm looking at the ground is there's all going to be trip wires here. Oh, there can be, I should say. Not guaranteed. But there can be. Credit sticks. Don't know whether I should play with the light on. Probably for this lever. Oh. What a worm. Oh, weakness to energy increases damage by 5. That is awesome. Okay, nothing there. So some of these more dark levels, you want to use your flashlight a lot. Others, not so much. So there's an exit door. There is multiple exit doors in this game. Probably would have missed that. Oh, here's... Is this something I can interact with? No. Some of these fans, when they start acting like that, you can interact with them. Same with some of these crystals. So, yeah, I can't interact anything there. Another exit. Alright. First time, let's go back around. Some credits here. Alright, so here's probably a tougher battle. So I'm gonna do the virus mandate. So I have a debuff, I'm bleeding, so my next turn, as you can see, damage pierces through shields and armor. So my next turn I will take full damage. But it doesn't matter because it's gonna die before the bleed can even take effect. So now we got our first two enemy battle. Now I'll show you what a Kimball does. As you notice, it hit 2 targets instead of going towards 1. A Kimball will always hit 2 targets, or if it's more than 1 target, and if there's only 1 target, it's just going to hit that 1 target twice. Alright, so here's one of those random events. So if I open this, it can be something good, and it's not. It is a grenade. Ouch. So Spooky took a little bit of damage. Alright. Here's another one of those things. Inspect the ore. Alright, so we don't have the tools to access it. I think we needed an engineer to get that. Well, it's probably going to have a special option for engineer. So your class, your party makeup does have some effects to the events you'll get. Oh, this thing's dead. See, and I don't know if the thing dodged. I mean, let me take a look. Medium armor increases... Okay, no, it has a 0% chance to dodge. Yeah, this is something the game does not let you know, is if you right-click on the target, you can see its information. Alright, so I'm gonna meat shield and taunt it. Hopefully, yeah, this should kill it. That wasn't the boss either. Ah, this must be it. Yeah, the corpse officer. That's probably him right there. He has a 0% chance of dodging. Fire weakness, 0%. Oh! That was painful. Let's see. Oh, I couldn't kill him. You notice the thing got damned. Okay, there's the dot in the shoot first. broke his shields, you saw from that. Oh, okay. So I definitely want to kill him. Two misses? Wow. Okay. Okay. What the hell's going on? Okay, the shoot first killed it. Oh, okay. So it has a 50% chance to dodge, but if you notice, it just kept saying miss, miss, miss. Does it even say dodge in the... No. Nope. Doesn't say dodge. That's one thing I wish the combat log would say is dodge. Okay, what the hell's going on here? Now that sound means I completed the mission. I can leave at any time, but I want a little bit more loot. So I'm going to check the the few areas I haven't found. Oh, it's blood yet. Now this means there is a downstairs area. Alrighty, nice. Oh, I did loot that. Okay, cool. So I clicked on this and it did give me something, it looked like. Oh, maybe I just gotta... No. I did loot that crystal. I was going to second guess myself, but I remember the chest was an actual loot screen. So that'll be it for this episode. I am gonna just sell and do all my offline stuff offline. I'll talk to you guys later. Oh, and we'll do the collecting 150. I forgot to do that. So I'll see you guys later.